Hi, we're coming back for a new subject. We call it present perfect continue, or sometimes we say progressive. Sorry. Present perfect progressive or continue describes a long action started in the past and was in progress for some time and recently stopped, or still going on until now, where the stress refers to the length of the ongoing action and having a connection to the time of speaking. For example, how we connected. Structuring the present perfect continue or progressive. We have a subject, sorry, I, they, we, you, then plural subject, then we use have. Then we have been, then because we have plus past participle. Then we have to make it continue. Then we have a verb with ing form. Then you could say have an object, math since yesterday. Then we go to the second kind of subjects. He, she, it, we use has. And then with has, same thing, we have past participle, the been. Then we have studying with ing form, then math since yesterday. How we construct the present perfect. When we have a subject, he, she, it, then we use has, then past participle. Then we added ing form. Let's look here. The first one, we have present perfect simple. We have has, was that the subject, has, then past participle of type, then we say typed. His novel since Friday. Okay, because now we have here present perfect simple. Has plus past participle. Then go how to make it progressive, present progressive. They have to make difference between present perfect and then present perfect continue or progressive. Let's go to the present progressive or continue. Sometime we say Azad is typing his novel now, because I have ing, then I have now, then I know the action is happening right now. Let's go to make how to make those two sentences as one sentences. It means we have to have present perfect and then also present progressive. We make it both of them as one. We say present perfect progressive. I have here Azad has been. If you look here, then I have has plus past participle. But I need it to be progressive. Then I'm going to say Azad has been typing his novel since Friday. How we got these sentences? Has is the same as present perfect and then present perfect continue or progressive if you still look here. Then here we have is. Sometimes we call it is, or, then or was a word, we change it to be. Then I have to make the be here. If you look here only, the be, then I have to make it past participle. Then I have to make it been. Then here I have it ing form because I have to have the action verb. Type it from present perfect, change it to typing in the present progressive or present continue. But when I have it present perfect continue or progressive, then I have to keep it, just break it down here. Let's go to the second kind. When I have a subject, I, they, we, you, or plural subject, then we use have, past participle, and then plus ing form. Okay, plus ing form, or you sometimes call it gerund. Present perfect simple. Let's see here. The two governments have regulated. Then we say have past participle. Two new laws since March. This is my present perfect simple. Let's go make it present progressive or continue. We say the two governments are regulating two new laws. Here I have or, then I have ing form, then I know this has happened in the continuing time. Then if we remember, we said amu is or equal be. Here or, then I could say be, same thing. It's going to be the same meaning. When we make a present perfect progressive, we say the two governments have been regulating two new laws since March. Have, just bring it down, then or we change it to be, then we want to make a past participle of be will be been, regulating we just break it down. When we use present perfect continue or present perfect progressive, showing a length of a time started in the past until now. For example, Sam has been chatting with his cousin for 2 hours. The second one, James has been lecturing from the morning. Then here, Sam and his cousin have been waiting for you over 3 hours. Then we use adverb of recently or lately to indicate the duration of time. For example, the adverb we could put in the front of the sentences mean more stress, or we put in the center of the sentences or at the end of the sentences. For example here, lately, our soccer team has been practicing really hard. We go to the second one. My youngest sister has been using my computer too much lately. Then the last one from this one, my youngest sister has lately been using my computer too much. According to British English, the possession of adverb has to be after the auxiliary verb and then before the other verbs. But it depends on the situation. Sometimes we put the adverb of duration in the beginning of sentences to put more stress, or to the end of the sentences, maybe less stress, maybe the action is more important than duration. But it's the best way that we put in the center after the auxiliary verb, before the verb. Let's go to this. Recently, we have been talking to our neighbors. Or you could say, we have recently been rehearsing for the new play. Or you could put the adverb of duration at the end. We have been rehearsing for the new play recently. Okay? Let's go action began in the past and continue until now, where the stress is on the action or for the period of time. For example, we have been painting the house since the morning. Or you could say, Sardar has been studying for 6 hours. Sam has been waiting for his guests the whole day. Or you could say, the police have been investigating the homicide case for 6 weeks. Or you could be a repeated continuing action at a specific time in the past and continue until now. Zana has been vacationing in Turkey every summer since 2010. Present perfect continue or present perfect progressive. Then we have to, for example, all day. Sarah has been working on the project all day. Or you could say the whole day. We have been practicing the whole day. Or you could use since. Sam's parents have been waiting for him to arrive since yesterday. For my family has been touring the old neighborhood for 5 hours. Present perfect continue or progressive, and how we make a difference between present perfect continue or present perfect simple. For example, a present perfect simple tense is used when an event has a connection between the past and its present time. For example, our professor has published 5 researches since 2010. We know this is the action happened and then connection to the new time. Or you could say, A present perfect continuous, then we look for continue, is used when the emphasis is on the action with a connection to the present time. It means the duration of the action. Okay, emphasis on the, you see here, duration of the action with the connection to the present time. For example, our professor has been publishing, it means he's continuing publishing his research in the same magazine for 10 years. It means this 10 years, always when you have it, he published it there. But here you could say, our professor has published 5 researches since 2010. It means he only published it in that specific publication, only 5. Maybe he has more than 5, but only 5 of them he published it there, or maybe before, after maybe period of time he published it somewhere else. But here, whatever he has any publication, he published in the same publication office or same magazine. A present perfect simple tense is used when an event is completed. It means the completion of the event. For example, Sarah has written 2 reports. Present perfect continue progressive is used when an action is not completed. For example, Sarah has been rewriting 2 reports since the morning. It means since the morning she is doing that, reporting the report or rewriting the report. Let's go to one more. A present perfect or a present simple perfect, a present perfect simple is used when the talk is about how much or how many times the action has been completed. For example, Sam has traveled back and forth, see here, traveled back and forth to Istanbul 3 times in the last 2 months. I mean, duration, the time of action happened. The present perfect continuous is used when the talk is about how long the action has been taking place every time. Every time. Sam has been traveling. See here, traveling, the action is started. And the continuation, back and forth to Istanbul for the last 2 months. It means duration for how long he stayed there or how long he's been going to Istanbul. We have 2 kinds of verbs, then some verb, then without continuous forms. For example, hate, like, love, prefer, want, wish, we call them feeling, with the sense appear, feel, hear, see, seem, smell, sound, taste, communication, agree, deny, disagree, mean, promise, satisfy, surprise, thinking, believe, imagine, know, mean, realize, recognize, remember, understand, or other state, be, belong, concern, depend, involve, matter, need, owe, own, possess. Those verbs, we cannot make it ing form. Maybe in some situation we could, maybe most of them we cannot. Sorry. How to make it present perfect continue as negative or interrogative? It means make a short question. He has been talking for 2 hours. They make it negative. He has not been talking for 2 hours. Make a question, we just take auxiliary verb, position in front of the subject, we know it's question. Has he not been talking for 2 hours? Yes, he has. No, he has not. Then the second one, she has been watching the TV all day. She hasn't, see here, you could say she, comma, s, they're not, but you could say she hasn't been watching the TV all day. Hasn't she been watching the TV all day? With the have, same thing we would do. We have been exercising for 2 hours. Have past participle, ing, then we have the present perfect continue, then make it negative, same thing. We have not been exercising for 2 hours. Make a question. Have we not been exercising for 2 hours? We have here, like say, Kurt have been fighting terrorists for 3 years. Kurt haven't been fighting terrorists for 3 years. Then haven't Kurt been fighting terrorists for 3 years ago? 3 years. Sorry, not oh. Contraction of has and have, like this. Sam have been reviewing his report for 2 hours. You could say Sam's been reviewing his report for 2 hours. Then you could say we have been reviewing our report for 2 hours. Then we say we've been reviewing our reports for 2 hours. When we have has not and or have not, we have two options. If we look to this sentences, we have Sana has not been working for 2 days. Then we make a contraction to the has. You say Sans not been working for 2 days. Or you could say Sana hasn't been working for 2 days. Similar thing for have not. They have not been singing since 6 p.m. They've not been singing since 6 p.m. You see here, just take HA, then out, then put comma. Same thing with has. Then you take here has. You look here, HA, we delete, then you put comma, connected to, it's gonna be one word. Then you could say, or you could say, they haven't been singing since 6 p.m. Same thing when we use for and since with present perfect continue. Same thing we say, she has been reading for 2 hours. Or maybe we say, she has been reading since the morning. Then we say since here, then we say for. Then we know the starting, but we don't know the end. But here we know that she is reading for 2 hours. Same thing with have. They have been driving for 3 days. They have been driving since yesterday. How we make differences between all those? For example, we have present. Okay, let's look here. We have simple present. Sarah is a nurse in Azadi Hospital. Then we could have this kind also, because we have this as auxiliary verb as the main verb. Here I have the action verb. You could say Sarah works as a nurse in Azadi Hospital. If I want to make it progressive or continue here, then I'm going to say Sarah is working as a nurse in Azadi Hospital right now. Then make it present perfect. Then I have to have has plus past participle. Then you say, sorry. You say present perfect. Sarah has worked as a nurse in Azadi Hospital for 5 years. If we look to the end of the sentences here, right now, it means tell me the progressive or something happened right now. Then for 5 years, I don't know when it started, when it will end, but I know the total of the year she's working, she has worked there. She has worked there is for 5 years. When we make a present perfect progressive, we're going to say Sarah has been working as a nurse in Azadi Hospital since 2010. Let's look when we have subject as a plural. Present, simple. The police are ready to ride the criminal bunkers. The police often ride the criminal bunkers. Then progressive, the police are riding the criminal bunkers today at 3 a.m. It means at 3 a.m. if you go there, then you can see the police is doing the action. They continue at that time of the action of the time here, time frame we just mentioned it. Present perfect, The police have raided. We have it, have past participle. Here we have be verb, are riding. Then we have action verb, ride, and then we have auxiliary verb, are. Then let's go back again. Present perfect. The police have raided the criminal bankers for several times this week. We make a present progressive. The police have been raiding the criminal bankers for 2 days since March. Okay? Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. Keep reading and listening to the more tape. I'm gonna post it for you in order to improve your English. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.